should we have the bottom hand directly underneath the bottom shoulder so that a line like from the shoulder to the wrist is a vertical line? Or should we instead scoot our hand forward a little bit so that when we come into side plank, instead of a vertical line, the line from the shoulder to the wrist kind of angles forward slightly. It's so straight under or a little bit forward. The claim is that if the wrist is straight under, that's injurious, that's going to injure the shoulder. But if we take it forward a little bit, then the shoulder is super safe. Like that's the idea here. And I just like to maybe suggest that we, in the interest of being scientifically thinking yogis, critically thinking yogis, we might want to take a step back and look at this question and just ask ourselves, is this question really the best question to be asking when it comes to shoulder safety in side plank? Could it really be the case that hand forward a little bit suddenly makes the shoulder super safe, but hand right underneath makes the shoulder super unsafe? Like, could that really be? So maybe just think a little bit critically about that. So if we know that side plank loads is like a pose, a movement that works the shoulder abductors, what if we go into the strength training world and we just ask, well, what strength training exercises work the shoulder abductors, like in this plane of movement? And we actually have a great strength training exercise to bring in here as an example, as a comparison, and that's called a full range lateral raise. So I'm going to show it holding 2 dumbbells, but you start like this in neutral, and then you abduct your shoulders through their full range of motion all the way up and all the way back down. When it comes to like these full range lateral raises in the strength training world, we just go through the entire range of movement and it's all fine. Like there's not a question about this tiny little few degrees of difference being safe or injurious. It's just not really something that would come up because that's not really how injury risk works. Injury risk would have much less to do with this slight difference in alignment and much more to do with actually load. And the question would be, is the student in question, is their shoulder, like, does it have the capacity to tolerate the loads of side plank? It doesn't matter whether the hand is directly under the shoulder or whether the hand comes forward a little bit. Like neither of those positions is inherently safer or more injurious. I would just suggest that students place their hand wherever feels strong for them. Place your hand in a position that feels like a strong position for you, and then feel strong in your side plank.